Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It is October 18th. Lisa, Lydia, Scott here with you on this rainy start to our day. Actually, it started raining last night, so continuing to rain into this morning. We'll find out when it's going to end. But first, I just want to remind you, of course, we're live on Facebook every weekday morning. We love you when you join us live, but of course, it's on your feed throughout the rest of the day. You can watch it whenever it works for you. We make it into a podcast when we're done. You can find it at inform.com/podcast. Look for the Inform Minute. We're also on our Inform YouTube channel, and of course, live every weekday morning from 5 to 7 a.m. And that's where this morning you were tracking the rain for us.
Yeah, we had a good area of rain kind of develop, turned into a pretty big blob of green on my map from Grand Forks down I-29 through Fargo. At one point, all of Richland County was covered in green on my map. The whole county was getting some rain. So some nice steady rain has been out there. We have over a quarter of an inch so far here in Fargo, and we're not done. Grand Forks National Weather Service also said they've picked up about a quarter of an inch. That was as of 6 a.m. and it's still sprinkling in that area. So I do expect reports to be kind of between that quarter to half inch mark. This will start to wrap up, push out of the area by about lunchtime. By noon, I'd say it's mainly a Minnesota situation, and then through the afternoon, that'll slide off to the east. So here in Fargo, if you're headed out for lunch plans, you'll probably be able to ditch the umbrella, maybe a remaining sprinkle, but the overall trend will be drying from west to east through about the middle of the day. Still a cold and rainy and raw, windy day. This afternoon, we're looking at an overcast sky, wind out of the north, gusting close to 30 miles an hour, so that's a pretty healthy breeze. And then temperatures only in the 50s, which is really not that much warmer than where they're sitting at this exact time. So it'll be kind of a cooler afternoon. We'll get sun back by tomorrow afternoon, temps back in the 60s. I have 60s then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Up north, upper 50s, so still above average. And then things change. By the middle of next week, I have Tuesday, Wednesday, a chance of rain. Could be a significant rain, could easily be a big low pressure system, and a shift in the jet stream. We're gonna get more of a southwest flow, which tends to uptick our activity, bringing in these kinds of systems, and then drop our temperatures. After that system moves out, by about Thursday, Friday of next week, I have highs in the 30s and 40s.
Oh boy.
High temperatures. You don't know where your winter coat is. It might be time. I have 39 for a high in Grand Forks next Friday. That's cold.
Get the coat out of the closet, fluff it up, get ready to go, I guess.
Hopefully there's a 20 in the pocket. That's the
I
best.
love that.
You know?
Even if I find $1,
Yes,
I'm
like,
score,
oh,
but
nice.
a 20 would be great.
Yeah. I should start tucking them away when I put them into storage.
I was at Target yesterday and I noticed the winter coats are out.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if we have a high of 39, that means you spend most of the day 20s to spanning the 30s. That's chilly. And then, of course, if there's any wind, it'll feel even colder. So enjoy this little stretch of 60s the next couple of days, even though today is cool and rainy. We'll get some 60s, decent weekend on tap, and then we'll cool things off with another chance of rain next week. Want to talk about my bug friend?
Oh, yeah. Why didn't we? I forgot about that. That was hilarious.
Yeah. So at one point this morning, I'm over at the green wall doing the forecast, and I feel a tickle on my arm, which, happens every once in a while. I was like, oh, there's a hair. When there's one of those hairs and it's tickling, so I'm ignoring it, not thinking about it. I happen to look down and glance, and there's a huge box elder bug crawling on my arm, alive, crawling all down my arm. And I was like, look at that. It was so big. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill it right on my arm. And so I smacked at it while I just scared it. And it flew away and fluttered off, and I haven't seen it
It's like my favorite forecast in a long time. I laughed so hard.
You handled it well.
You did way better than I would have.
Thanks. It took a second to pull it back together, but I was like, oh, there's a bug on my arm right now.
Have you cut that video yet?
I did. It's posted on my social media pages.
We were both laughing at you off there.
Yeah, you were. I could tell. Yeah. Sometimes I see them on the green wall itself, and whatever, I'll just ignore it. I won't mention it or point it out. But it was crawling on my body, and I couldn't. It was tickling.
You're a pro.
It was something else. I actually did see it. I don't know if you noticed it. We had a 3-shot at one point, and it flew between us.
Oh, no.
What?
Yes, you guys were reading. I was just standing there. And if we were off camera, if we would have been on camera, I probably would have said something. But we were covered with video at the time, and it flew right between us. And I was like, this bug, this dang thing has something. It's obsessed with me. So now I'm on a mission to kill it.
Okay.
Okay,
on a mission.
that's all. Thanks,
Resume
guys.
your mission.
Yes.
All right. Well, how do you follow that?
That's tough,
really
but...
our biggest story of the day. All right, our top local story, breaking news update for you this morning. We talked a lot about this on First News this morning. The Clay County Sheriff says a house fire in Dilworth was so big he was really scared it was going to spread to other homes nearby. That fire broke out around 9:45 last night. Close to the Dilworth Lutheran Church, if you're wondering the area. Witnesses say the flames consumed the home within just a couple of minutes. We had pretty incredible, dramatic video from a viewer where you could just see huge flames, billowing smoke. 2 adults, 2 children were inside the home at the time, but they were able to get out on their own. However, sad news, we have learned that a couple of pets that were inside the home were killed in the fire. Sheriff Mark Empting tells us that neighboring homes were a huge concern because of the huge flames. They spent some time, he said, like hosing down, watering down the roof and the siding of the nearby homes so that they stayed cool and didn't start melting or burning or anything like that. We also have learned that they had to go inside the home to take out some propane tanks to prevent any explosions inside that home as well. The cause of the fire is under investigation. I do believe they said the fire marshal was called in, so that investigation is underway. We did hear some reports of witnesses and neighbors hearing other explosions too. So still a lot of questions we're working to get answers to for you.
Not our only breaking story. Here's another one for you. One person is in the hospital with serious injuries following a crash between a pickup and a semi-truck. North Dakota Highway Patrol says the crash happened just before 8 o'clock last night, around 6 miles or so from Kindred. A semi slowed down to turn onto Highway 46. That's when the pickup rear-ended the semi, and then after the pickup stopped, it burst into flames. That caused the highway there to close down for about an hour while crews were putting out the fire and taking care of the scene. 19-year-old Evan Friedrich was driving the pickup truck. He was taken to the hospital, treated for his injuries. He is expected to be okay. The driver of the semi-truck was not hurt. The cause of that accident remains under investigation this morning.
This is a story we've been tracking for months for you. The vote to finally approve pedal pubs in East Grand Forks has gone through. It's been approved. The city council voted to change city ordinances last night. The city will now look into licensing agreements with companies to partner with. That could be announced as early as the end of this month. As we've been telling you, Grand Forks passed similar changes to their ordinances just a few weeks ago. So now with both cities allowing these pedal pubs, the potential for cross-city pub tours could become a possibility.
All right, a problem with North Dakota's budget bill will send lawmakers back to work. Governor Doug Burgum has called for a special session after the Supreme Court ruled that $322 million budget bill was unconstitutional. That's because the bill included a line not related to the budget. Most of the money was funding for the Office of Management and Budget. The Legislative Council has drafted 14 bills breaking up the original bill and separating it from the office. But House Majority Leader Mike LaFleur estimates 25 additional bills are also in the works. LaFleur says the legislature is considering proposals from Governor Burgum on tax relief, energy, and infrastructure. Lawmakers have until 5 p.m. on Thursday to submit drafts for bills.
Today you have another chance to go to an open house on the City of Fargo's growth plan. It's happening tonight at Davies from 4:30 to 6:30. I didn't realize this. We talked a lot about this, but apparently you can play kind of a fun game when you go there.
It's kind of like a choose your own way type of game with depending on your answers that you give.
So you go to the meeting, they're making it interactive, they're calling it the game. You answer some survey questions on your preferred growth plan. Based on your answers, you'll get a map for small, moderate, or large growth. You can place dots on where you'd like to see residential growth in Fargo. So yeah, very hands-on, kind of making it fun, what you would like to see. If you can't go to the meeting tonight, you can still share your opinion and your thoughts and dreams, all that good stuff. You can take the online survey. It's on the City of Fargo's website.
All right, big national headline this morning. New overnight, President Joe Biden has touched down in Israel, of course, landing there under a cloud of tragedy right now. He's also showing support for Israel against the terror group Hamas, obviously the ongoing battles there. There's still many questions about a missile that struck a hospital in Gaza City and killed hundreds of people. Hamas and Israel, they're blaming each other for that attack. So far this morning, Biden met with Israel's prime minister, but also at the same time canceled meetings with nearby Arab leaders. So, of course, an ongoing story that's going to be going on. We'll keep covering it for you.
Another big story we're tracking for you. It's now been 2 weeks since the U.S. House has had a Speaker of the House, but there's supposed to be a vote this morning at 10. Members of the House say it really could go either way. Jim Jordan lost a full floor vote for the speakership yesterday. 20 Republicans did not vote for him, and he can only afford to lose 4 members from his own party. For a little context, more Republicans voted against Jordan in that first round of voting. Then back in January, that's when former Speaker Kevin McCarthy had to hold 15 rounds of votes to win the job. So once again, that vote is supposed to happen at 10 this morning. Depending on what happens there, it sounds like Republicans may go back to the drawing board to find a new candidate for Speaker. So.
Yeah, and keep in mind, during this whole thing, they can't pass bills like funding and aid to places like Israel right now. So, all right, Hot Mike, the postseason begins in high school football this weekend. Wow, that happened quickly.
Yeah.
Season flies by. How Langdon is aiming a return trip to the Dome next month. Plus, Dick Bramer joins for the final time as the Twins head into the offseason. They're going to talk about who's going to be back with the team next year. Hot Mike is live from 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra and Inforum.com.
I want to remind you, now is a great time to get your Inforum.com subscription. 99 cents a month for your first 3 months. Just go to Inforum.com/subscribe to check it out.
And join us the rest of the day at our newscasts. Our next one's at 11 o'clock, then 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And First News is again tomorrow morning from 5 to 7. I'll be gone. You'll be here.
I will take the reins, and you'll be back. Actually, you'll be back for the weekend.
Yeah, I'll be on Saturday, Sunday, First News, and then all next week.
All next week. So, all right. Have a great day, everyone. Stay dry.
Bye.